Thanks, like and subscribe.
Listen, I think what it shows is just a fundamental misunderstanding of what Bitcoin is. We all get caught up on whether or not this is going to be some kind of global currency that disrupts central banks. But fundamentally, all that Bitcoin is a software program that removes the middleman from finance. So if I told you that I had a new company or a new app that I was able to remove a lot of the middleman from financial services, you'd be all over that and you'd say this is the greatest thing ever. So it shows me that the prince doesn't understand what is going on.
I mean, he's far from the only, let's call it credible investor, person of stature in the financial industry who's either throwing shade directly at Bitcoin investors or at least raising serious questions about it, Jamie Dimon and others.
Yeah, very true. And listen, I count myself along those ranks. I mean, back in 2013, I said the same thing. I thought it was a scam. I thought it wouldn't work. I had to break through all those old concepts of what a financial system is and the idea that a financial system that we have now is built with a middleman in it. As soon as you can break through that, then you can start to understand that this is a revolutionary technology and a fundamental change in the way we send money around the world.
But so you're saying you think people are sort of conflating the credibility, if you will, of the underlying technology with the speculative nature of the investment itself.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair thing to say. And listen, I don't know if Bitcoin is going to be the one that wins out. I'm always reminded that MySpace existed before Facebook. But there will be a token that resides on a blockchain that will allow us to send value over the internet without a middleman. And that's a revolutionary technology, and that's something I want to be invested in.
My question all along has been, what would happen if something as simple as the Treasury Secretary of the United States or the Fed chair made any kind of questionable, suspect comment about Bitcoin? Forget everything else. Bitcoin would get hammered at that very moment, would it not?
Yes, and it has. Brian.
Yeah.
Mount Gox.
I want Brian to answer that
Mount Gox
first.
hacking should have killed this thing, and it didn't. When you had hundreds of millions in Bitcoin stolen off an exchange, that should have been the last we ever heard of it. It turned out that was only the beginning. So I'd love to hear your take. What happens if tomorrow the Secretary of the Treasury says it is a felony to exchange money in Bitcoin in the United States?
Bitcoin loses half of its value in an instant, doesn't it?
But then what? That's the question.
I mean, I don't know. Listen, that's not good. If my investors ask me what my nightmare scenario is, that's probably one of them, right? It's not good if the U.S. government comes out and says this is illegal. That being said, I don't think you can stop it. It's like saying, how do you stop the internet? How do you stop the email? So it will rebound, and what has happened every single time is that it has rebound because there's a fundamental demand for this technology.
Well, Brian, you don't have to come out and say it's illegal. All somebody like that has to come out and say is we are taking a real hard look at it, at the possibility of it being regulated.
Yeah,
we don't have to get to the illegal part.
I said that already.
I'll tell you what. If they came out and said we're taking a real hard look at it and we're talking about regulating it and Bitcoin goes down, that is the buying opportunity of a century because that means it's not going to be banned. So that to me would be the greatest thing. I hope they say that tomorrow and I'll be buying hand over fist.